How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Wish that ended up having a green day inside of the market. You already know we are waiting to play up on that gap fill, so I'm going to make sure I give you guys an update. But before we get started, of course, we have to go over the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing that we're going to be going over is the technical analysis. We want to take a look at support, resistance, and how's it moving in a technical sense. I told you guys that I love how it's looking for this overall play. It's part of the reasons why I have a position, but hey, we'll talk about that more. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information and as well as the recent institutional ownership. Then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. Were institutions loading up on large scale orders today? We're going to find out. And then when all of that is done, I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts and as well as some more key details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for Wish. Let's see how it performed on a day. So it ended up closing at $7.38, being up 2.36%. On the low, it tested $7.12, and then on the high, testing $7.75. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, we traded at 37.75 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 38.616 million shares. So fairly close to the average there. We ended up seeing some appreciation in the stock, and this is exactly what we want to see. The chart we're using is the 1-year daily chart. When we take a look at the RSI down below, you can see it's right around 41.82. And when we take a look at the moving averages on our chart, we are below the 100-day, we're also below the 50-day, and we're also below the 21-day EMA. But one of the things we want to pay attention to, this was actually an area of resistance on the day because we ended up testing $7.75. I do know it's at $7.80, but we can see there is some resistance there. So there's a lot of people who are paying attention to the technical setup, or maybe it's just the algorithm itself. But anyways, now when we talked about Wish in the past, we saw, hey, it ended up being dumped when they ended up putting their earnings out. And we see that there's a big time gap fill opportunity. Just want to expand that further so you can see this. So we want to see Wish come back to make that move so it could fill in that gap and get to the $10 range. You can see something very similar. Look, they released earnings. This was all the way back in May. The stock got dumped off and look what happened. Ended up filling that gap. So we want to see this trend actually continue. And due to the fact that we can see it's definitely been building up is great to see. So what we need to look forward to as far as for this week, I want to see Wish break through this $7 range and start making that move to $8. And of course, as far as this $9 range, I can see there's going to be a lot of profit taking. So that's just one thing to pay attention to. But there's a lot of traders who are paying attention to the technical setup. I wouldn't be shocked if it starts running all the way up to where we get to around 938 and we might see some resistance there. But of course, I'll be looking forward to seeing that move to 10. And like I said, filling in that gap. We don't have to reach a high over here of 15 bucks. Even getting to $10, like I said, will fill that gap quite nicely. So continue to keep this on your radar because it's definitely looking good for Wish. And you can see from below, even from the volume candles, there's a lot of buildup and we're running really good right now. So we're on Fintel. We're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and the short interest information for Wish. So as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we can see for the most recent, for August the 30th, we had Vanguard that ended up closing out a position. You can see it right there. And then also as far as for the 30th, we did see that they ended up going with a position of 300 shares. Nothing big whatsoever, and we can see there have been many closed positions in the past as well for Wish. But again, even further back, if we're going to look at that, we see a lot of institutions have also bought. So as far as everything looks, it is mixed when we take a look at institutional activity as far as from the filings. When we take a look at the short interest information, you can see from the short shares availability, it is at 7.2 million updated 24 minutes ago. And for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 0.69%. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 27th, it was at 45.21. The close for the 30th, it was at 44.23. And the close for the 31st, which was yesterday, being at 43.34. So a pretty tight, consistent range there. But we do see it has been going down a little, but it doesn't change the fact that Wish does have a lot of short squeeze potential. And keep in mind, it is still categorized as a meme stock, so this thing could explode at any moment, and it's part of the reasons why we need to fill in that gap, and it's something that I'm definitely looking forward to, and I'm playing that position. So I hope you guys do your homework and do your due diligence and see how you feel about this play. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Wish. So we can see here on the inflow, it is at 60.98, and then on the outflow, it is at 60.63. So we ended up having an inflow day. So we could see we had 0 on the large for both. On the medium for inflows, it was at 42.94. And then for the small, we had 18.04. Now on the outflow side, on the medium, we had 43.48. And then on the small, we had 17.15. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for September the 1st, we had 0, but the 3 prior days were all outflow days. So one thing we see clearly, institutions did not load up on any shares of Wish today, but I feel that is perfectly fine because we are still continuing to have momentum inside of the stock. And like I was saying, in regards to the technical setup, I'm going to continue to like it. So as long as it's moving in the direction we need to go, I really don't mind if institutions are not deciding to get into this play at the moment. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and go over some more key details. So for my final thoughts for Wish, when we went on Fintel, we could see it continues to have short squeeze potential. But one of the things to be aware of, this was a stock that was being categorized as a meme stock. So if that status comes back to the play and we start having more demand for shares, this stock can move very well. And that potential is there, and I want to make sure that you're fully aware of that as far as what this play can actually do. In regards to the gap fill, I know I keep saying it over and over again, that is part of the reasons why I'm inside of this play. I'm looking out for that move, and when it does pull back, you know I'm already adding on those dips. I talked about adding when it was below $7. I also ended up getting a question, hey, should I wait for it to get to the high $7 range, so around $7.80 to enter? Hey, that's going to come down to you. You got to do your homework, do your due diligence, take a look at the charts. Hey, you could take a look at my technicals and come up with an idea that's going to be right for you. I'm not going to tell you guys, hey, here's the entry price where you need to get into, because I know for myself, if it does decide to pull back, I will add to my position to get my cost average down and ride those profits up. I also do not know about your financial situation or what your goals are. Some people want to be in a play for the short term, medium term, long term, and so on. Everybody's going to be different. And that's part of the reasons why I don't just throw one regular number out there and say to go in there. Because if it does pull back, you guys are going to be coming for me, be like, yo, Trey, you said da 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 da. And then for some people, they're going to be like, hey, I believe in Wish for the long term, so I don't mind adding when the price is really cheap. So like I said, do what's right for you. I know my strategy is I'm playing that gap fill, and I know for a fact it should be able to fill it out. I know nothing in life is actually guaranteed, but hey, that just tells you how bullish I am when it comes to this play. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.